it'll be up to the winner with that. So 5K Vince will paint something for somebody. I'm adding that milestone real quick while we wait for the Rerolling Ones crew to sort themselves out. There they are. Gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I got your audio back on now.
Okay, I got to sort out the camera. Because I don't think you can see us yet, right?
I see you. No, you're good. You're good. I've got you.
Oh, okay. Because we can't see ourselves on your stream or anything. So.
How narcissistic are you?
Oh no, I'm incredibly narcissistic.
I need to fix my hair.
Drop out back in, refresh, or you go into the settings there. I have to pull up my my handy dandy donor CSV document here for Larissa. See who wins this real quick.
Sure, do your thing.
Make sure I've got a fresh copy. 52 right there.
What is this ad?
I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow, you guys are freaking astonishing. This is insane. So we got...
We're the only ones seeing this, right? This ad for popsicles with goo in the center?
Yes, I just refreshed it. That's fine.
That's taking me back. I don't
Okay.
know. There we go. Yeah, you're right now.
Meph, we're in your chat as well, so we can actually respond to chat real time as it goes.
Perfect.
Rocco, what's up, buddy?
Perfect. This sounds like an inside joke someone needs to explain. Dinmac says, Dinmac Xanthi says, if Jack apologizes for pitting his brother against the Balfour Lords, I'll donate $20 then and there.
Hey, this puts me in a tough spot because I want him to donate $20.
But
I did nothing wrong.
That's it. It was his fault. I'm sorry I did that. I should have explained. Now I'm explaining my apology, which is the worst thing to do. I apologize that you feel that way. No. So I'm sorry that I didn't explain to him exactly what he was going to do.
Wasn't that like his first game back after a long time, too?
It's not my fault. It was a rough situation. I told him the chat, but some people don't want to listen to my advice.
Some people were very excited to see corn slaughtered.
But yeah, it was wrong. It was wrong. He felt embarrassed off camera. He was like, why you put this top tier list against my army? There's no way I could beat it. And I was like, I could have won in your shoes.
oh, if they'd switched armies, that's what he's saying. They switched armies.
I
He
would
could have
have
done it.
was playing Iron Dogs. I wouldn't want.
Hey man, by the numbers, percentage-wise, most disliked video we put out. So to me, I think it's funny. But Josh.
Oh, he smoked. I was like, Meth not saying anything. This is
No, I'm trying. I have to. So I have to isolate out the donations for the Warhammer Weekly block, and then
Okay, so we'll fill some time for you.
Yeah,
we're actually filming a battle report right now.
You're filling.
Great.
Yeah. Your block has started, and then I have to go take a pie to the face, real quick, live for really real.
Yeah.
Is it key lime? Because that's disgusting.
No, it's like chocolate, like silk type thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was actually listening when you were referring to that.
That's fantastic. Well, hold on. This is like a friendship issue right now. You don't like key lime?
No.
I don't like rhubarb.
Well, nobody likes rhubarb. Rhubarb doesn't like rhubarb. So, like, you think key lime is gross?
It's disgusting. It's like lemon meringue. They're both gross.
Shut the front door.
Winner of the Larissa figure is Dorn Jr. Dorn Jr.
You
wins.
like black licorice too. Any other disgusting thing you want to eat?
I don't mind black. I don't like black licorice.
And IPAs, anything else?
I hate IPAs. I will do Jaeger shots.
All the comments are disagreeing with us.
Key lime is delicious. Paul Conti is unfortunately right in this case.
I love key lime. I love key lime pies. I love key lime
He
pie.
stole my joke. I wanted to dunk on Conti.
What's up, Paul? Good to see you, buddy.
I'm all about this. So Dorn Jr.
Sorry, we're not even listening to you, man. We're just
No, it's your block.
I'm
It's your
actually
show.
plotting
It's your show right
the
now.
Rerolling one by exhibition match.
Oh, apology accepted. Thank you for the donation. This
Yes,
is
thank
a
you.
super worthy cause, and we're honored that you asked us to be here. And yeah, and we also want to thank just people who've been patient with us during this crazy time in the world about getting content. Everybody's been super, just like, take your time, and yeah, we're able to get back together because the restrictions on our county have letting up, and we're out,
yeah.
wearing masks and hugging.
We could be catching coronavirus right now, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Could be real time. We did it for you, for your stream.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you putting yourself in harm's way. I also want to say on a more personal note, don't tell the other like guests or co-hosts, however we want to frame this. Don't tell them, but you're some of my favorite people in the community. They might get jealous, so don't.
Oh.
No, sincerely.
Yep.
Let me give you a hug.
Yeah. Aw, ghost hug. No, but like I remember when you did a cold open because you had the video pre-recorded, right? And Jack had to drop off a model for a bet, I think it was. And he puts it on the chair, and then like it's the wide angle shot of you guys socially distanced. Thank you. Like it was. That was like the feels of the AOS community like personified in one single like 6-second bit or whatever. Fantastic. But also, to follow it up later, the video when we finally get a brand new bat rep, and I know like other countries have like opened up ahead of time, and it feels a lot like the like SpongeBob SquarePants meme where Squidward's like looking out the window and like he sees like Patrick and like SpongeBob are playing, and then he's just like grumpy and in the shade. That I feel like Squidward. Like I'm looking at the rest of the world like playing Warhammer again, and I'm just like, dang it. But you had that video in person, the first one during this whole thing, and I'm like it felt like a weight lifted. Because vicariously, the community was playing Warhammer through you in that moment. Did you know the weight of the entire Warhammer community was on your shoulders in that instant? To deliver the best bat rep, and then, like, of course, I didn't even watch it. Because I got my peace of mind just, like, seeing that it was there.
I appreciate that. I mean, we are doing our best to remain. I mean, to be fair, the pandemic is still real. It's still happening.
Still
We're doing our
mask.
best to remain safe. So Brent and I remain working from home in quarantine. So like we're only exposed when we talk to Jack. He's a free agent.
Sorry for clapping in everyone's ear. Sorry.
A shot of you, like you mentioned, like I don't know, you painted the Hellpit Abomination or the Doom Wheelers. Like I painted this in during coronavirus, and then you just sort of like look off into the distance, and you would go, "It's still coronavirus." That was not part of the skit. That was just part of the video.
so inside joke about this one, Matt, since you brought that skit up, it ends with us a wide angle shot of us being up distant and me going what? But the original joke was when Jack goes, "Have you lost weight?" I just go, "No," which I think other people could also relate to. But we switched the last minute to the what?
I like
so that's some inside dope on how we do our skits. We improvise literally all of it.
I love this. Hang on, let me read some donations. It looks like Brent had something to say, yeah. So let me read some donations.
Oh no, that was me vouching that I also did not lose weight during.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let me find. I had the list, and you guys just keep donating. Please keep doing that. But Manfred number one. Yeah, Manfred number one donates $5 to Tiltify. Thank you so very much. I'm not even gonna make fun of Manfred. That's how much mental health means to me. Brandon Terra, $5 Tiltify says, "Keep the momentum going. Awesome job." Jarl Flamen says, "All KO are belong to Bob." Thank you for the donation. Brendan continuing to maximize, continuing to game the system, trying to break the donation system. We got a donation from Nagash Loves Slanesh, $5. Thank you so much. Croak did nothing wrong. Donation. Chaos Spawn Wargaming donation. Anon showing back up again. Kicker with another donation. Thank you all so much. Every bit helps. Every bit keeps the momentum going, keeps me talking. It keeps me charged up, really. I mean, these are, if you want to think of it like I'm some sort of evil death wizard with a great cause, and like I consume the donations to keep power. I mean, this is my black pyramid, really, is what this is. And there's just donations are souls. No. Kicker, thank you again. Konstantinos Kellis donates $25. Apology accepted, man. Bring it back though. Paint for the paint god. Of course, to the inside joke there. And
I'm never gonna get over every time the old Nagash just like pops up on the screen.
Isn't it great?
Buckles.
It was so difficult to do that.
Totally worth it.
I would love to see that painted up like in gold, today's gold demon standard. The old,
I bet
old
we could
model.
find one.
Yeah.
I bet it's done. I bet somebody did it.
So like a little Masu, something like that.
Like,
Shwing and Alex Mylonis, both with a $5 Tiltify donation. Thank you so much. Craig Lewis says, Jack and Meph, we need to play Total War together. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make that happen.
I'm pretty
Ross
cool
Polly
with
says, Oi!
I'll lose.
Mangold,
I'll lose anyway.
Mangled Miniatures, $20 donation. Thank you so much. Andy Gray, Brian K88, Rerolling One's fanboy sounding off. Vanilla Sauce, release Gargants already. Davis MMA says, hi Jack. I got Whitaker tonight. Winky face. And
oh man, he is my arch nemesis. So like, Meth and I also have a bet when the football season starts back up. When the Seahawks beat the Packers, he'll pay them all
win. When they lose, when they get styled on by Captain America, Aaron Rodgers himself. Yeah, go on.
Oh, they've already drafted his backup. They're already going to have the rookie quarterback in there by that.
Those are the rumors right now.
Him.
Those are the rumors right now. They're saying he has actually real competition for the first time ever, and he's not looking like old Aaron Rodgers himself anymore. So I don't know, man. Good thing one player isn't the team.
Talk weed, but we definitely have a bet. But I'm currently 1-3 against Davis MMA in bets, and I'm actually using 2 of the models that I painted for him in this bat rep because I want to get a little bit of use out of him. But yeah, it's he's gonna have a whole army by the time we're done. This is why I stopped gambling.
Why do you keep taking the sucker bets, dude?
Oh, no, even the past few have been my favorite. And it's just he just.
Yeah.
I did break the streak. He is painting a Night Venator. I'm looking for that one drop Stormcast list because I've played shooting Stormcast since 2018, and now being able to have that one drop list, I'm excited. I thought I put them away, but they pulled me back in.
Yeah. Put a pin in the one drop list discussion because I think that's something we can totally talk about. What were you saying back there?
I just said some people are unlucky, and then I want to include Blake Shoot.
Andrew yells with a $50 donation. Thanks, Meph. And a reminder to all that health doesn't end with donations. It starts with giving your children emotional vocabulary and self-awareness by listening and modeling language, being informed about trauma, and voting. The more we help to get everyone what they need, the healthier we all are. Good job.
Absolutely
well
agree.
Stated. Gramps at Nova says $25. Thank you so much for that. And Bryce, 5 again. Am I metagaming right? Yes, this is how you metagame. Be sure to be selecting the donation incentive as you're going through, though. It makes it a lot easier for me to do that little math you see me do at the beginning of the block, where I have to actually sort the list to get the number I need to draw from. And then I can see Heavy D6. I came in with painted a chair for 2.5 hours. Nice. Christian Ware with $25. Thank you so much. So I got to take a pie to the face real quick. You can talk amongst yourselves while that happens if you'd like, and then this live. Oh no.
Hi.
What am I?
Hello.
Oh, it's Strength Hammer.
We're getting
What's up,
invaded.
Invaded by Chuck.
Hi.
What's
Hi.
up, dude? You inspired
I
me
just wanted to.
I just wanted to remind Meth before he takes a spy to the face that I want 20 air squats to build that strong foundation for this upside down black pyramid you're building today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Air
gotta
squats,
get-
hands out in front, butt below the knees. 20?
There you go.
20?
20, no breaks. Let's go.
Oh, come on now.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it too. Jack's
There's
getting
no
in on
room
this.
in here to do more
Chat
squats.
gang, feel free. Which leaves
Well,
Brenton.
2,
Jack's a good form.
4, 5.
Okay.
My legs
Yeah,
are so
like-
short. There's no difference between standing or squatting for me.
There you go, Meth. Break parallel. Ass to grass. That's the form. Man, rerolling ones. You guys have got it good over there. You guys got some. You got some good form going.
This
There
is
you go,
all
Matt.
I have in quarantine. I have myself. I'm not counting.
19, 20.
Yeah,
All right. Woo, that's gonna.
There we go. There you go.
Chuck, I'll have definitely inspired me. You keep it up. Since I decided, I've dropped like 38 pounds because when
Damn.
people are fat start noticing how fat you're getting, you're like, you know what?
All
You're
right.
right. I need to drop some weight.
The last time I
Yeah, that's awesome. It's fantastic, Jack.
Sorry, I cut you off there, but the last time I did those, like the first time, like, oh, these are nothing. I could do like 100 of these. You hit a point somewhere when you're doing them where you're just like, oh god, the weight of everything.
Yeah.
Good world.
It happened at
I mean, I was
15 there.
Along with Kegel. I really get, you really get to burn.
This
Dude,
is
love the patient.
I listened
Well,
to Ric Flair used to do 500 of those a day, and that's
Kegels?
crazy. No, not Kegels. Ric Flair made other people do Kegels, okay?
Nice. All right, I'm gonna go back to just enjoying the stream.
yeah. Thank you for.
Thanks, Jack.
Whew.
See you soon, Meth.
Oh no. Oh my. Feel free, chat gang, if you want to share in my suffering. to join in. Oh,
Who's throwing this pie?
Lulu will. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do that. You'll chat amongst yourself, and just watch for the feed to pipe in. Really.
Okay.
We'll
How
commentate
are
you
we
taking
gonna-
a pie.
Yeah, how are we gonna get the pie on camera? What do? You walk off the camera, or
Yeah. I have like a super. So I'm using my elite hacksaw skills to hack my own feed. Like with just like hack my own feed with a live video currently being. See, I've left my computer real quick.
Double hack.
double
Yeah.
hack.
I have
Yeah.
no idea how to do any of this.
Yeah, totally recording this live right now. I'm outside.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm way outside. Yep. Just it's really, it's so warm out here. We've got the air conditioning on inside. I had to switch shirts real quick.
Turn your camera sideways, World Star.
Yeah. But it's gonna be awkward if I double it. So I got to take my headset off and take this pie outside live.
Okay. Looking like Jim the Anvil Nightheart.
100% live and not
Let's go.
totally pre-recorded because y'all raised $300.
We got no audio of that.
Ooh, nice doggy.
Apparently, I'm taking a pie to the face.
Oh!
I'll go get a drink of water, and then
Oh my gosh.
and then decided to do this 100% live.
Like, we just have to narrate.
Oh my gosh, the dog is.
You sure?
People are booing. You can't boo it.
Oh!
Man!
Yep.
That's a good one.
Please tell me there's a slow mo after. We can slow it down. Oh.
I don't know what the delay looks like because we're watching off the stream, so the stream is delayed.
I just love at the end as like a next step tool.
Can you
Yeah.
send me a link to that?
That was excellent.
I'll make the link public. You can share my shame, and now I can share the photo afterwards. I actually had to rush outside. I had no idea how I was going to do it live. It was like in my office. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah.
Molly really gave it to me too. She did not she stiffed me, if to use a wrestling term. I got stiff. Like I felt the tin. I felt the bottom of the tin in my face, like in my schnoz, just like pow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It wasn't a working pie.
Did you get like chocolate up your nose? What happened there?
oh, and yes, one of my powers, in addition to good looks and great ability to talk, is fast wardrobe changes. So got cleaned in that time. Returning.
You need to do that when you're doing as much burlesque as you do.
I want to see a remix though. Like there's the slow mo, like
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's,
This is
in the chat.
this is bullshit. We riot. Boo this man. Why are you mad? I took a pie for you folks.
Yeah, come on, TKT.
to be fair,
calm
Tomb
down.
King players are never.
That is true. I take
I'm
up top.
kidding.
I'll do it. I've never met a happy Tomb King player.
All salt. So yeah, that
That is Marathon players. Not quite. Almost.
Almost. True. Get dunked.
get dunked on. Hey, Sluntastic,
Oh,
how's it
thank
going?
God.
All right. Sorry, I'm making this available real quick. Shoo, the last you were on with me, we actually talked about Soulbound. We never got to get to the take why battle reps suck.
Why do battle reports suck? Let me zero in on it real quick. You can't make everyone happy. That's basically it. That's the gist.
Oh, okay.
Some people want short, some people want fast, some people want variety of armies, some people want super focus, laser focus, and the ultimate, the big picture here is that whoever decides whatever the middle of the road is to get the most viewers, that battle report be the weirdest looking, you know what I mean, like the most. It'd be like a giant scoop of Warhammer vanilla.
It is so true. You mean, like, some people want competitive, but the majority of people don't like watching competitive Warhammer. It's just can be very interesting.
Competitive Warhammer is over on turn 2.
It's definitely like, and I've said this before. I think battle reports are more geared toward newer players, and so like because I don't really watch a lot of battle reports. I used to watch mini wargaming constantly, and Doom and Darkness, and now I'm really big fan of Doom. I love his stuff, but you just like. Especially when you get into the competitive scene. Like last year and year before, I was going to tournaments, going to LVO, going to Nova, and like you get into that competitive gear, and then you watching a non-competitive game, it's just not as interesting. And but like going to you can't please everybody. At that point, that's not for me. But now I stopped being as competitive, and now I'm interested in battle reports again.
Yeah, it's like watching a martial art form that has thousands of moves with all these different forms, and that's what Warhammer is. Competitive Warhammer is like it's the same stuff, but the only moves are against the throat or the head. So it's like, great, this guy went for the throat, this other guy hit him. The game is over.
Yeah.
So some people like to see that stuff, and the trick is like finding that middle ground.
For me personally, I really like battle reports, but like what I like about them, and I hope that other people like this about our video, is you're seeing sort of like the completed end of some progress of hobby, of like, here's the models that you had to paint, the board that you had to put together, the rules that you had to hopefully learn, and then at the end you get to see like what does that look like of a group of friends all playing that game. So it's like when Jack says it's like the battle reports are good for or aimed more towards newer players. I agree with that, at least in the sense that newer players probably haven't painted all their models. Maybe they haven't built terrain. Like they're getting a view into like this is some hopefully idealized version of what it looks like when you get there once you've completed all these kind of different parts. Like I remember starting out like when I was a kid, reading battle reports in like a White Dwarf, and that's what it was. Is like you're looking at the pictures of this game and you're like, oh, I want to do this. And hopefully, I'll get there after I paint my models and I buy this book and I, kind of do these things. But even then, like, even if you've got that going on, that's why I still like watching other people's videos, because I want to see like what
the end of their hobby
what
journey.
they're
Yeah.
And you'll finish an army soon.
Someday. I don't know. I saw a comment in there that's like that you like that we get the rules right, and I appreciate that. But then also there's that meme with like the monkey sock puppet that is like looking one way and then looks the other way. I'm feeling kind of like that sometimes. It's like,
Well, super don't get the rules right.
Which it's like, and you feel sympathy and you understand, like mini wargaming people like, but they're Coca-Cola. And like some people like us because we're not mini wargaming. But the thing is,
That's a weird reason to like something because it's not something else.
Yeah, and we love mini wargaming. They're great guys, but people like, it's easy to like dunk on the number one thing.
Yeah,
and we are very sympathetic because we definitely try to get rules right. But when you're trying to like please everybody, you're playing all these armies. You're like, I don't know this army that well, but people want to see it, and I'm going to try my best. That's why I love things like AOS reminders. Davis is a great guy, and useful tools. But the thing about AOS reminders, you actually have to read it. You can't just print it out and be like, all right,
yeah, sit over
play
here.
the game for me. Why?
Yeah, like.
Sorry, best comment I missed while I was outside completely 100% live is Shanty Miniatures said, I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took a pie to the knee. Lulu had some stank on that. Like, she like actually bought a pie crust. She made the pudding, she just made pudding for the filling. But it was like the fast set stuff, and then she let it sit overnight, and then whipped cream did a piping bag. She's a really good baker. And then I think she has some latent aggression that I'm doing this. What do you guys think? Like,
very cathartic for her.
Yeah, that was a good shot. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, it's good. Actually, just thinking about the amount of effort that went into the pie, I thought it was just like a $5 special from the grocery store, but like somebody made that for you and then made it to you.
Yeah.
Taking a pie to the knee, I'm almost certain is a fetish.
Doggo did get pie bits.
Out of
Pie is
cement.
Cool Whip and gravel. Brutal. I made a pie during quarantine. That's the first time I've ever made a pie. It was a Reese's peanut butter pie, and it was very good, but it was like so
Rich?
just, I don't even want to say rich. Like it's if you eat like more than half of a slice, it is unbearable. It's just like, this is no longer enjoyable anymore. And it like quickly descends of like, this is really good. Oh my gosh, what have I done? So we froze it and we basically ate it for like a month.
So basically you're saying it's key lime pie.
So
Yeah.
at what donate level would it take for you to make and send a pie to someone, Brent?
Oh yeah. I
I
was like, what's the shipping on a pie?
Well, at this point, like, who cares because the pie is going to arrive in
Yeah, it's
swine.
not going to get there. It's not going to make it there.
If
just
you
a
use
image of a pie.
UPS,
You can freeze it?
No.
What's the
Yeah, it's like, wait, is that it?
Wait, ask the shipping expert. What do we do? Well, yeah, like what's your professional opinion on getting a pie to where it needs to go?
They got a Chicago pizza. They were shipping it to their buddy. And they're like, they got it, put it in the box, put it sealed, shipped it, and I got to deliver a soggy box. So I shouldn't ship food.
So,
great.
Yeah, what is pie related that we could do for a donation? Maybe we need to put that request out there.
Make terrain out of pie.
Yeah.
Ooh,
How about this?
like you already made terrain out of cake.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm happy to draw a picture of one of Brent's pies. We will sign it and mail it to whoever wants to donate.
A signed photo of.
A signed photo of pie?
No. I was trying to figure out how to integrate the pie.
I love that you're working so hard on the pie. Wow, that's what she said. Ayo, I did it for all of you. You don't need to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. G-Dad donates $25. Thank you so much. Ty, my main man Ty, donating $25 for the brain healths. Doing great work, Meth. Thank you very much.
Pies marked at 6-inch scoring.
Dr. True, moving my hips like yeah. Oh, because we hit the incentive to do the discography review. That will not take up the feature rant cast of the week, by the way. That'll be something extra we do.
So you guys, I was listening earlier. Is it going to be Britney Spears?
No, Britney Spears. I was like, I don't think Britney Spears is awesome, because like the original intent was that like.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I will leave Britney alone. Homegirl's rocking it on the Instas right now. Have you seen her Insta feed? She's like they're like, wear a yellow shirt, if you're in trouble, and then she like wears a yellow shirt and she's just been fucking with her fans. It's pretty great. Um,
Oh,
so no, the what was it? It was supposed to be Britney Spears initially, but like I wouldn't know anything really about it at all, and the idea was that Chuck would suffer because it was supposed, it's not his favorite one. And he's like, actually, I really like Britney Spears too, and so like since he's not suffering and I've got no skin in the game, it doesn't work as a dynamic. So I offered back we just do Tay Tay, because obviously he loves Tay Tay, and I like the one song that The Rock did on the lip sync battles, the Shake It Off, like that was fantastic.
oh.
Yeah. So I have like I could talk about that, but they rebutted that and returned to me Miley Cyrus, which guilty pleasure. I love Miley. Miley's fantastic. She's just like the new Madonna. I get it. She did the thing to be racy, and she got stuck in that pop. This is giving away the content for free. Sorry. Hashtag free Britney. Point is we can both talk about it, and it'll be silly but funny and interesting. Instead of me just going, "Yep, that's the album," yeah, I remember hating the one album because I was listening very heavily to rock and roll music at the time, and I didn't quite appreciate pop music yet because pop music was for squares and I was edgy and cool. Like they would have been, nah, we don't want that. Back to donations. Moving my hips like yeah, so I had to explain that one. Because we hit that. Imitation Cheese, thank you so much for $5. 13 rolls back in it. It's estimated that 16.2 million adults in the United States suffer from depression. You are not alone. You can get help. Go to Mental Health America's website to get more info. Yeah, Mental Health America has a ton of resources. Like on their site, they actually have links for the common depressions. PTSD is ranked highly. I know that in the wargaming community, we have a lot of veterans. PTSD is a very real part of their reality. I think we all have friends in the military. We all have friends who have suffered. They suffer some degree to it, and whether they talk about it or not, or getting rid of that stigma, I think is part of the solution. So yeah, thank you very much for that 13 rolls. Joe with $20, Piotr with 5, Anon showing back up with 5, 25. Let's go. Love the work you've put into this. All the love from the Everchosen guys. Thank you so much, Lantastic. That's of course Jeremy Cooper from the Everchosen podcast. And then Anon again with another $5. Can you carry my show while I use the restroom and fill my water bottle back up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We got you, buddy.
I want to point out, so if you, you're talking about being too edgy for pop music, I want everybody to know that I used to have hair down to my shoulder, and I used to wear skull necklaces, and Shu was a goth vampire.
That's true.
Yeah.
True. It's all true.
They were in multiple bands.
This is true.
I had a goth phase. I was mostly a goth before I just like diluted into just Generapunk, which was like a progression.
Yeah.
I had long jet black hair down to my spine. Eventually, I redid it to get like blonde streaks in it, but they just turned blonde, like this weird blonde orange, because my hair is. You can see how super dark my hair is. So I'm gonna have to bleach my hair twice for the purple hair dye incentive, to get it to stick. DIY pants with like buckles on them and stuff like that, because Final Fantasy really made me think buckles were cool. We all had the buckles phase. Black nail polish, like I'd wear sundresses and combat boots just to mess with people's heads. Like, yeah, there was a whole thing. I was super edgy. Yeah, I like that. This is the edgy stream. Welcome to the edgy stream.
I'm gonna tweet to you a picture of what it looked like as a goth, and Brent will tweet to you what he looked like in the skull necklaces.
Scene kid or like. All right, I'll be right back.
Cool. So
all right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jack is always a really cool guy. You go.
I can tweet you a picture of me at 320 pounds.
Yeah, go for it. I'm trying to hit 320 by at the end of August. I'm close. There's a question in the chat, which is, what is our favorite armies to play when not working battle reports? Jackie, first go.
Oh, wow, that's a good question. My favorite army to play is like more recent one. Iron Jaws is so much fun. It's just
Great Wa, or it's
just Iron Jaws, just like smashing and bashing, moving in your hero phase, getting right up there, just fighting oh, I get to fight again. I get to fight again. I never thought I was not a huge orc guy or orc guy. I bought the army from Doug just because I was like, oh, this is like a studio army. But when I bought the army, I've never bought an army from Doug yet. But Shu ended up. Shu has a beautiful big wall / Iron Jaw's most of the army that he gave up his Adeptus Mechanicus for it.
Yeah.
He had a huge 40k army. He's like the secret 40k guy. Like me and Brent are fighting too. But it's coming.
It's all in his unassembled plastic.
Yeah. And so he traded this beautiful, a lot of Adeptus Mechanicus for his. You've seen Iron Jaw's army, but anyway,
it was a
Iron
good
Jaw's
deal.
right now, but also just I had fun playing my Stormcast for 2 years. They hold special placement.
Brent, what's your favorite army?
The surprise is I haven't played Warhammer outside of doing a battle report in an incredibly long time, and that's not something that I think is ideal, but is something that I'm still working towards, because like I basically just play with everybody else's armies.
Yeah.
They're sort of the like.
But what's your favorite to play though? Like,
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like outside of battle reports, I don't have a favorite to play yet because I haven't been doing that. Like I'm slowly putting together several armies and hoping that one day like I talked about earlier, I get to that point where like here's the idealized version of the hobby and I'm there. But I think everybody is working on different aspects, whether that's painting or playing or terrain or campaigns or whatever.
Thank you, Tristan. I saw that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. To get there, but
at
least to have some answer as far as like what army do I like playing the most. I really I only did the one game, but I did really enjoy playing Coalesced Seraphon.
Nice. And Rocky, your boy, asked what you thought about Pecan Pie.
Pecan Pie is it's all right.
What?
It's like mid tier.
Mid-tier?
Yeah.
It's good.
Hit him.
What's your favorite pie?
Not the one I made. Pumpkin.
Oh my.
That's not even.
That's like, it's not even 10. Not even a 10.
I like I like
Sub 10.
I like pumpkin, carrot, pie, cake, spice. I don't like pumpkin spice lattes, but I am a pumpkin.
Leave it to Brent to make an essay out of an easy answer. Rocky boy, I'm going to answer the question with also my favorite army. My favorite army is the Phoenix Temple army I just made. It's a Living City army with mostly Phoenix Temple units. I just finished it. It's not going to make it to the channel for this campaign, so it's not going to be on for a while. But it will be on. It's going to be my next season army. So, spoiler, we're doing season 2. And yeah, that's my favorite army to play at this point. It's chop, chop, chop. Those Phoenix guys get in there and chop anybody up.
He aged himself 40 years with pumpkin.
Want to reverse it? Is there a least favorite army you like to play?
Yes, my least favorite army used to be my favorite army. Good to go in reverse order. I used to be Warherd guy. I was the guy who always played Warherd. I had 1,000 points of Warherd. It was the army I played from the start of the game all the way through open play. Then points came out and I had 1,000 points, and it was like my kick around, have fun. It either wins big or loses big. I like did the math to Brent. There were 92 games I played with that army, and I won about 10 of them. So it's not like I was winning a lot. But then the Beast of Chaos book comes out, and it makes vanilla Warherd it brought their power level way down because they couldn't explode their attacks. They just do like 1 extra damage. And they already hit on 4s. I'll just tell you this. If I have a 50% chance of being effective in my job, I would be fired. All right. Go over to Brent. What's your least favorite army to play? Don't look at the table, because that's the battle report we're doing right now.
That's a cool one. Probably that I've tried playing.
If you need me to buy, I was about to say, if you need me to buy for time for you, I can answer some chat gang stuff. But you hate
sure. And yeah, the setting up the grave markers is not. I don't know why. It's just
we're so in depth. We have 2 more questions to get through. Then we'll let you take it.
Do you think, guys?
As far as played, they never hit the channel because I bought them as soon as the shutdown started. I bought a fully painted Gloomspite Git army, and I played it 3 times with my brother. Actually, tried to record some stuff, but it was definitely, it was just, it wasn't right. Yeah, I didn't think there were not even enjoyable games, but I think one of the hallmarks of our channel is the banter and just the interactions.
100%.
And like when I my brother, there's a brother versus brother. This isn't fun.
Yeah.
We're not having fun here. This is a
Yeah.
sibling sort of rivalry, and like it was coming out. Like
When Josh is on, he's got to play me or Brent. Otherwise,
just,
it gets
I'm like, there's
too-
that thing where I don't know, like I'm
too family.
yeah, it definitely gets too family. But I had that Gloomspite Get army, and I'm not gonna say I didn't have fun, but it's like the least fun I had out of the armies I played. Where there was not a ton to remember, but there was enough to where I was like, you know, it was. But not saying it just. It
Yeah,
was still,
you just didn't have
it
fun.
wasn't a 1 out of 10. It was just
Yeah.
probably like a 4.
It's probably, what horde armies are always
Yeah.
hard
Oh,
and
yeah.
take a lot of time, and then they're powerful, and then
When you're used to not ever playing a horde army, and then you're
Yeah.
trying to move 60 things, you're like, this is dumb. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we're
love
definitely-
I love the aesthetics of Gloomspite Gets. I even love the theory of how they play. I just don't have it in me to push 120 models around anymore. I just don't have it in me, especially in a tournament play. Yeah. Yeah,
So
maybe.
yeah, tournament play is a whole other thing because you're like, what's taking you so long? You're cutting into my time,
Yeah. Just to make a quick announcement, I am switching my Gloomspite Gets army to all Trogs.
Yeah,
So that's gonna happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there's so many things like on the paint desk, and like we have a lot of stuff. Like I have a KO army, but it's like when we started so we do have 2 KO armies. When we started the channel, like it has to be painted before it shows up, and so
I still believe that, which is why you don't see my stuff.
Trogherd 100%. Trogherd love popping off in chat gang. What was the? Did you get through all your questions? You still have some left?
No, I I think we got through them. If you want to hit up super chat, go for it.
Okay. So real quick, what's going on? This one's a little weird, but it is the Aether Wars KO half. So you've got all your tokens, cards are in there. It is not technically new in box because it is physically not in the box, but I do have the box that it all shipped in. It fits perfectly in there with some padding. So this is what you're getting. You're getting half of the KO half. That's got your dirigible suit if you missed out on it. So that's a good pickup for like the KO collector or someone trying to put the finishing touches on their KO army. That just got cheaper. You might find yourself looking for like 120 points. So just real quick, I wanted to mention that donate a minimum of $5 throughout this block. Be sure to go into the rewards section and click the reward you would like, which is this KO thing. That way, when I get the donations, it flags it and it makes my sorting and randomizing it easier at the end. So thank you so much. I just want to get that out of the way, just in case anyone was wondering what the prize is for this block. And we've got a couple more donations in. Piotr, Anon showing back up. Anon again. Slantastic with $25. Let's go. Love the work you've put into this. All the love from the ever. Oh no, I already read that one. So it's just Tomb King Tristan. I'm sorry. False alarm. Just Tomb King Tristan. Never mind. He says rerolling ones, more like rerolling zeros. Boom. Roasted.
Nah.
oh my God, he's still salty.
Yeah.
Why don't you go cry with Cetra?
Oh, shed the tear instead of bend the knee. No, I won't make fun of Tomb King, a Tomb King player's expense, unless they start shit first. Okay.
Yeah, he was spamming the chat.
I know. No, it's
With
fine.
donations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got buffalo wings? Oh man, I'm jelly. At some point, I'm
There's
going.
There's a what is the Tomb King unit? The badass giant mummy guys with the Shabdi. Oh my gosh!
Shabdi.
When I saw those dudes, I'm like, oh. I mean, I took such a long break from Warhammer. Those were new models. I had not seen those yet. So when I saw them, I'm like, I want those, but now they're gone.
So I most people know my story, but in case we've got around 100 viewers, 91. We've got 91 viewers that maybe don't know this story. I started with Army Book Undead. It was all one. Okay, so I got to play with chariots and skeleton archers, and mummies were in there, old wraiths were in there, all of it. The grass was green. on both sides of the fence. You know, so it was all there, and then they split my army while I was playing it, while I was collecting it and playing it, and we were doing little like 1,000-point battles because it took a long time to get the correct points back in those days. And they split my army, and Vampire Counts came out first. I mean, to be honest, I would have went Vampire Counts anyway had they came out at the same time. But I went Vampire Counts, and then I just like playing Vampire Counts. Tomb Kings never hit the table, like in that span. So I came back to Tomb Kings being a thing and like kind of hated, to the Necrosphinx, and like the Necrosphinx would have made me question my decision to go Vampire Counts, because that model is gorgeous, along with like the Bone Giants and the Ashabti. Like they have some truly outstanding models.
What did Vince say about it? You said it was like the model to which all Age of Sigmar models were compared. I think that was the original quote. Maybe Ash Barker said that.
I'm still confused why they got rid of it, but I don't know. It seems like they could have just been like, it's this thing now.
It's a plastic kit, right?
Yeah, it's a plastic kit from like 2010 or 11. Like,
and it certainly looks amazing. Like it's.
So.
Are you currently looking at it?
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't know. Why did that outlast, or why did Orc Boys outlast Necrosphinx? Feels like a crime.
See, I hope, like, I was kind of hoping, like, with as I think many people were, with like the teases of the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, that there would be like a Necrosphinx like reimagining.
Yeah.
I actually really love the Gothazar Harvester, but that is not a Necrosphinx reimagining. It might have started like at A, but it ended at Z and not like C or D, where you can still see the inspiration. It went off. It just diverged completely from a Necrosphinx. I love the role it plays in the army of Ossiarch Bone Reapers. If you're still playing that crazy ass game, I love the role it plays in the army. I like the theory on. I like the whole thing, but it's a Necrosphinx. This is not, you know.
Yeah.
I still have a War Sphinx model that because I played Vampire Counts, and then this was like during the end times when, you know, we had like our first Grand Alliance, or I guess not first Grand Alliance death, but back to a Grand Alliance death, and so I picked that up and like alongside Nagash and added that to my Vampire Counts army.
Sharing the Twitter link real quick if you want to see the aftermath of me taking that pie to the face. You can see my nose is actually bruised in the photo.
Ouch.
I'm kidding.
Holy moly.
Yeah, she got me good. Freaking graham cracker all in my beard and stuff. Yeah. So what's, I guess you were least favorite army to play. Did you answer favorite army to play on stream?
Oh yeah, before. Yeah,
before. Okay, I missed that. I missed that. Okay.
Favorite army to play? None of them. It's my favorite to play.
Space Marines.
Yeah.
Is that painting up Foster? Is that you? Foster. Don't worry. Don't feel bad about not being able to donate. New Ragnar model, which you'd happily paint and ship anywhere if you can work it into the stream. I'll have to think on that, where it could align with the prizes, doing it as like a bonus prize in one of these things. I think that's worthy if you want to contribute to the cause. You can always just like signal boost and talk. You don't have to feel obligated to like physically do something. That's just fine. You know, spreading the message is more than adequate. If it's something you truly want to do, let me think it over. Okay. This has already been way more successful than I had ever imagined. Might be getting to the point where I have to start thinking about a version 2 of this, or what this looks like next year.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you're doing some good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're doing good. Chat gang, I by many measures dropped the ball.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
Like chat gang's crushing it. Mephisto's just like, I am going to keep talking.
JK.
Again, respect for everybody who's donating. Is a worthy cause.
Right
and like, I guess I never, like, growing up, never have really had anybody who was ever diagnosed, because that's just wasn't really talked about in my family. But I remember having a roommate, and my first time seeing somebody suffering depression, it was like, oh, this is real, and it can happen to anybody. And so, like, I used to be the guy who was like, well, just pull your, whatever, walk off. But then talking to somebody and seeing like, and you realize, oh, this, and then understanding like, this can happen to people you love, it can happen to you, and so it is a great cause.
It's not something they choose for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I'm seeing these Twitter photos showing up, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and like drop the links to these if Chat Gang wants to enjoy pseudo goth or old school goth shoe vampire shoe here, which is we'd have been bros, man. We'd have totally hung out, or we'd have hated each other because that's how that always aligns. Oh no, they're frozen. Oh no. Uh-oh. They'll be back yet. I have faith they'll be back. Question, re-rolling ones. What is your camera? Yeah, camera and process. I'll be sure to ask them when they come back. And process. All right. What I was going to say was reaction and respond in response to them. So I'll kind of hang on to that for a bit. But I do want to say sincerely thank you, everybody. Dave K donates $10. Said, great stream. Keep it up. Vampire counts rule, by the way. Yes. Yes. Yeah, so it must have been on my end then. I must have had a... If it hiccuped before they dropped... Yep, okay. Alright. Hiccup before they dropped. Okay, that could be on my net, but I'm looking at my... We didn't lose any frame rates. So that's good. Disused Feign. They won't be able to reconnect directly is the problem, so I'll just hang out here for a second. What I was going to say, I'll wait for them to come back. So what I will talk about is theoretical vampires. In lieu of this this most recent donation. Oh, Anon just donated $25. Thank you so much for that. How was Shu not in my follows yet? I don't know. Just chucked me into somebody else's stream. Don't know why that happened. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We must have went down temporarily or something. The generosity was too great for Twitch. Mr. My favorite Warhammer Battlefield Army, Dark Elves, Chaos Warriors, Vampire Counts. Yeah, it looks like we're back up now. Whatever happened, who knows? I'm still here. Don't worry, everybody. There we go. I'm still here. Hope that they come back shortly. Shu. We are on standby in Discord, but can't rejoin. Okay. Alright, there we go. You guys need to hop into the Arcane Sanctuary. Hop into the green room. Hop into the green room. Then I can drag you down. You're re-rolling ones. Or I guess I can invite, because it's just on Shu, right? Nope. Nope. There he is. Boom. Got him.
I think we did it.
Yeah, alright. Hooray. The joys of live streams.
We dropped a picture of Shu as a goth and it broke the universe.
Yeah. No, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for your camera to come back in. I know it took a little bit before.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, you were talking about like sort of the... Like when you encounter people in the realness of like a mental health issues or depression or PTSD or whatever it may be, I know when I hit like I call it my spiral, or I talk about my it's the writer and the poet. I still share some of my poetry and stuff like that. I call it the sort of the darkness catching me. It feels very real. I refer to it not darkness, the inner darkness, but because it feels like there's just this tar in my marrow waiting to escape into my body at some point in time. And once that happens, it's just there now. So like I'm good most of the time. You know, like I'm neutral. People who are happy all the time, like I'm like I don't know how to take them because like I don't just like ride happy. You know, I'm usually like even to like sarcastic and standard adult who's seen some shit. But I have this just like it feels like I have a finite amount of happiness in me that I can experience during a given like day or a week. And once it's used up, it's used up. Like I'm just not happy anymore. And then it's like this time bomb for this tar just getting into my body. And I know exactly what is going on. Like that I'm having an episode that I'm depressed, like my depression's kicking in. I know. But it doesn't stop me from feeling it and being caught in the moment. And I can do stuff. One of the bits of advice I've gotten recently is like try to go into autopilot. So like rather than trying to like think my way through it, because every thought is going to eventually end back inside and hurting me. So what I need to do is get my brain to kind of disengage. And recently I was actually reading about the difference between like schizophrenia and manic depression and bipolar. And people don't think that they're linked disorders, but a lot of those personality disorders and stuff like that are it's a spectrum like many things. We're currently developing the science for mental health because for the most part it's been a lot of observational science. It's really difficult to like validate and check. Neuroscience is a very recent development medically speaking, where they can actually scan the brain and go, look at how this brain fires differently. Where we now have like observable data as opposed to like observations of like people, case studies in people and stuff like that. Sorry, I misspoke there. But they were talking about like with schizophrenia versus bipolar, which is what my mom suffered from. And then I'm just like your boring generic like depression, like woo, with my night terrors and insomnia. But like with schizophrenia, the voice comes from outside. And with like they get auditory hallucinations that comes from outside, and with manic depression the voice comes from inside. Now a lot of people have that voice inside. What makes it unhealthy or a disorder is that it's out of whack. Like it is strong, right? It's strong and it's reactionary and you almost can't help it. So talking about it, knowing that it's a real state that people experience, destigmatizing it so we talk about it, that will literally save lives. I mean, people, knowing is half the battle, right? Like G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name exactly, but there's some good resources on YouTube too of like, I mean, that's so like for a lot of people, that's their access to listening, to somebody that maybe they wouldn't otherwise get the opportunity to do so. So yeah, looking up any, YouTube channels, either regarding people's experience with depression or schizophrenia or bipolar. Like there's some, I feel like I've learned a lot. Like there's some good resources of just, going through somebody's YouTube series of explaining sort of like what their life experience is like, but also the, the information that they have to help educate people.
Well, and there's something to be said for finding something that works for you, because humans are in multitudes, to use Vince's like turn of phrase. We all experience things differently, and finding something that works for you to help you break your own personal spiral or your own fight back the own like tar in your marrow, whatever works for you, that's what to get to that even keel, or at least correct the direction of the ship. If it's if it's going to be going sideways, at least Tokyo drift that motherfucker where you want to go.
Yeah, I think everybody's dealing with the momentum issues a little bit. They all have to, we all come in fits and spurts a little bit in those ways of our effectiveness and how we it even impacts how we hobby, right? Like this stuff is all.
I'm on pause.
In a lot of ways, hobby is therapy for people, and so for this cause, and it has a really big overlap with this specific group of this fan set, this fan base. How are we doing on time, man?
I'm sorry, catching back up. You got about an hour to go. Sorry. You're starting to
No,
drag.
no, I
No.
yeah,
You've
I
got
wanna make sure we're good.
plenty of time to share personal anecdotes and stuff. One thing that actually helped me,
Oh,
you were talking about YouTube, Brent.
no.
One of the things you were talking about was like resources, video resources, TED Talks. I found some great TED Talks that helped me. Again, use what works for you. Imposter syndrome. I think this is probably like adjacent to mental health. Like imposter syndrome is we have an understanding of what it is, not that it's necessarily like in the same category of like schizophrenia or anything as extreme as that, or even PTSD. But imposter syndrome, the notion that I am a fraud and someday people will find out, right? I listened to Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually did a TED Talk, I believe it was on imposter syndrome and using it as fuel because, well, then, like you feel imposter syndrome because you see the flaws in your work. Then make those flaws better, right?
Mhm.
I want to be one of the best interviewers in this game, like so I listen back to my own content and I go, I talked over my guest there, like I'm doing right now. Like, like I talked over my guest there. I didn't let them finish the point. My question was too pointed, so that like okay, direct the conversation where you want it to go. But if your question's too pointed, then they don't get to like freestyle and explore their own point of view on your question. So like, too pointed of a question, things like that. Like, use what works for you. Um, Anon with a $25 donation. Jables $5. I wonder who that is. $5 from Anon again. This Anon guy just keeps showing up. 1558 from Da Bears. Da Bears. Bulls. That's a SNL skit. Okay. All right. And then Caesar Earl of Grey Tea. Nagash. $20. Thank you so much. Let me double check my schedule here. We know more realms is up next at 4. So yeah, 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, you're good, man. I just wanted to mention I was watching this YouTuber that I admire greatly named Matt Colville. He does talks about D&D games and how to run D&D games. More specifically, talks about like the art of storytelling and bringing up how to do that stuff real time with players that are constantly throwing new information at you and rolling with the stuff that they have there. And he talks about imposter syndrome briefly in the way that he said that he absolutely cannot relate to it and that he never experiences it and he doesn't really have any good advice for it. That was like one of those moments where I was like, wait, there are people out there like this that don't have this? I don't know if you heard this, but like when I'm thinking and if I'm thinking about something, I hear my own voice in my head talking to me. Not everybody thinks this way. And like some people just don't think with a voice in their head. And so that kind of was another mind-blowing thing. It's like, wait, not everybody does that?
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's my ex-fiance actually. So 2015, so like 5 years ago now. So we were having issues. We were dating, and I knew it was just I didn't understand like her situation. I know she was in the military. She had multiple tours overseas, and she told me she had PTSD and things like that. Which when somebody tells you what that is, you're like, okay, that seems fine. And then when you see it, like they're telling you they don't remember doing something, and you're just understanding like. And then so we saw this. I saw a counselor, a therapist, and it was interesting. He had me like I saw him he diagnosed her with borderline personality disorder, which was like, and she was a good person and all this stuff, and you realize like she wasn't her choice to have these issues, and it's just a whole new and just it's not you're not a bad person. It's like this is just an affliction like any other affliction, or just something that can be worked through, and something that it's not a death sentence. It's just like this is how they work.
Right, and especially when it happens to someone you love or you deeply care about. I mean, because a lot of people, when you're dealing with somebody who's got trauma of some kind, it's easy to put that on yourself. Say like, oh, what did I do? Or like, why are they mad at me? Or why
It's very human.
So,
it's very human. Continue.
Yeah, to kind of take those things and apply it to yourself, even though it really has nothing to do with you. It's fascinating, and at the same time, I think it affects more people than we think it does.
Borderline personality disorder is relatively common. That's the one that's like the probably more of a misnomer, but it's often characterized as the "I love you, I hate you." That's like the "I love you, get away from me," or like you're just gonna leave. Like it's very like it's often the only reason I really know anything about it is because it's for a while there they were lumping it in with like manic depression, but like it's a very they're very different behavior patterns. So my totally amateur perspective on it, mind you.
Yeah. We're all amateurs here, and again, Furious Bumblegoose mentions that actually they changed the name to reduce the stigma. I deeply apologize if we use a name that is insensitive for referring to something. We just know the information we have.
Yeah.
We're not experts at this stuff in any way. We're just trying to share some experiences.
Yeah, and if I said something like, I was like, did I say glitch in this one? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's the words that I have.
Yeah.
Sorry, just catching back up with chat here.
That's good.
We can shift gears into any other topics. If anybody has questions for us, put them in the chat.
Actually,
in chat.
Tristan asked a question in chat about what camera setup you use and what your kind of process is for getting ready.
I answered in text, but I can get back to that as well. So this is an iPhone 11, right?
11 Pro.
11 Pro, and that is the gimbal called the
Movi Cinema Robot.
Yeah.
So when it's on, bounce. So we started using, some Steadicam here. We used it for the first time in the last battle report, and there's still kind of a lot to learn. I want to say we wanted to make a lot of changes like the end of last year. We're like, okay, we're going to invest time and money into new gear and
just upping the quality in general, upping our video quality. We need to show that it's evolving and not just in a routine.
And that was pretty difficult actually, especially when we had a really streamlined way to do things. And I think back to like, why do battle reports suck? Like there already is a level that you're fighting against that you're trying to keep the rules straight. You're trying to be personable on camera. You're trying to be articulate, trying to make a good video. We got to a point where we weren't also fighting against the technology to do that. And so then once we tried switching gear, the stuff that maybe we thought looked better, then that introduced that issue. So like, I think it was kind of difficult to overcome that for a while, and we're still doing that, but now it's just like, no, we're back to making videos, and if things are not perfect right now, then we're going to keep working on it. So for example too, like we started this day out with like, okay, well the last video we did not use the Rode Video Micro mic that we can, like we got all the stuff to mount it on the top of the handle on the gimbal, and then we used it and it wasn't.
It's not as good as the onboard mic.
Right. So it's like it's still going to be a lot of trial and error. Where we thought we were going to like, okay, now we're going to have awesome audio this episode, and then we tried it out and we're like, okay, something is still off here, so we got to set that aside. We're just going to do what we did last time. But, trial and error.
Chaos Lord. So with my iPhone 11 Pro, I could make battle reports. Yes, you're carrying one of the most powerful cameras you'll ever own in your pocket. Like,
I think so. December last year, like when we tried to upgrade, like we scrapped 3 or 4 battle reports.
Yeah.
So there was a few weeks like, because like that was a great one. Oh, we had little lapel mics. And we had
something would go wrong. Either the audio would be desynced, or the lapel mic's batteries died, and we couldn't tell, or the camera had some issue.
Was out of focus.
Out of focus the whole game. So let me actually give you 2 pieces of advice for battle reports right off the bat. First thing is, when it comes to filming battle reports, if you want to get started doing it, filming the battle report matters way more than the gear does. Like how you film it, what the structure of your battle report is going to be.
I like this tip.
Whether or not you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, or you're going to do like filming it like real time, or if you have a tripod or an overhead, like all of those details matter less than the format of what your battle report is going to be. So figure out your format first. The second thing you need to sort out is your audio. your audio is way more important than your video. In fact, in our hobby, your video is an hour long. Most people are just going to put it on and start painting. Like they'll look up from time to time if something interesting happens, but like for the most part, like very few people actually watch the whole thing all the way through. So audio is way more important than your video. So don't sweat the camera you have. Like if you have a smartphone that's made 2016 plus, it's probably fine. In fact, a lot of them do 4K or whatever. But you got to make sure that your audio is okay. So don't put your hand over the microphone. Make sure that you are not like talking directly to the microphone to make sure your voice is all blown out. Make sure you
fans.
turn off the fans. Don't film in a game store.
Don't. This is something that she had to tell me to stop doing. Don't talk while you're shaking
Rolling
dice.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They'll pick up a handful of dice and they'll just like shake the dice while they're talking, but that is clack 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 on the dice on the audio the whole time. So
yeah, I listen. I think I'm definitely listening to because I can listen to stuff while I work, and I've listened to hundreds of more battle reports than I've watched. And so there were things I tried to do in the beginning, and then eventually you just kind of it doesn't work very well. Like I would get annoyed when I heard the clack, the retract of a
tape measure.
Tape measure.
Yeah.
And I hated that sound, so I tried to like put dampeners and like little cushions so I wouldn't have to hear it. But eventually, you're just like, we're trying to get these out, and
Yeah, you have to make some concessions at place, but you'll learn that stuff as you go over time. So your hardware and your software matter less. What you want to do is dress up your presentation, make sure your audio is clean, and then from there experiment with getting better hardware. If you can experiment with like trying this stuff out first before you buy something, that's probably more ideal. It just has to work for your setup.
I like.
What's the program we use? Editing VideoPad.
We use VideoPad, but it sucks.
But that's the point. Used it the whole time.
Yeah. Razor Tree here says your room setup can really help with audio. It's true because you got to remember audio is directional. Think of it more linear than you would like to.
Yeah. And the room we're in right now is in my basement. Usually there's a bunch of little kids upstairs thumping around. My wife took them all to her mom's. So like we're lucky to have a quiet room right now. But if you can get set up with a quiet room to play in, that's actually ideal. You can boost your audio and post as well. So when you're editing your video and at the end of it, if something's really quiet, you can actually add volume to something by adding a compression and limiter to it. That's a little bit more hardcore. If you want to get more editing tips like that, there's lots of YouTube tutorials for your software. So, but just know that you can boost your audio. Just Google boost audio and then you'll find it.
Yeah. Couple quick. Where is it? Shawing asked the important question. All we really want answered is shoes making a comeback, and how do I join?
Team Shoe.
So shoes. The banner is up at work, and I haven't been in my office in like 3 or 4 months now. So not making a comeback until I get back in my office.
I was like, you could give us those names for the campaign though. Like narratively, yes, you're the Skaven clan of Lord Malalik and Morspark the Singe, whatever, but competitively, you are shoes.
That's one of my favorite things when people like mention little things from.
That skit you did like a year and a half ago.
And it's a skit you're not particularly like. Okay, that was. Sometimes you're like, we need to get something done. It's an idea. And you're like,
he put that one together, so that's why he's like, that one was nice. No, that one's super funny.
I didn't like that one so much. It was just, and then people are like, oh, I love that one. I'm like, you did? Yeah, I love this one. Oh, that one was dumb. That's the one I like.
I love that people like the intros. I'm always happy to share with you my favorite anecdote about those intros. My favorite anecdote about that intro in specific was a joke that Jack ad-libbed, and we were all surprised by this. We're like, the trick is to film it and not laugh. It's when Doug goes, I want my team to sound powerful, and Jack goes, it's a dragon. Power is implied.
The Pokemon doesn't sound very tough, and why are there not 2 or more?
Yeah, it has to be 2 plus tough.
Yeah.
Dragon.
So
All
you have a working script, right? Like the scene and stuff like that, and then you just like kind of add.
Yeah, we outline it in text to each other, usually in Messenger, and then we ad-lib it as we go.
It's very interesting, like because I've never done comedy in a group before. Like I did stand up for a while, and just it's only you. And I've talked about this before, where it's like you put your baby out there and you're like, nah, take that out. That's like do this, that, and the other, and you have to be like, oh, all right, this is collaborative effort. But it's nice like when there is one where like, okay, this person's kind of in charge of this sketch and like they're the kind of in charge, they're the head of it, and you give them advice, but it's just my favorite though is when we're all three of us are together because those are just the what about this, and we all kind of put our species in the gumbo and like, oh, and it's my favorite one.
It does take some adjustment to take feedback.
Yeah. Well, from one of them who like says your joke isn't good enough, and then they have to change it.
Let me fix that for you.
We usually just hear the joke, and then we just if it doesn't like really stick, we go what if, and then we shift from there.
Yeah.
Big part is editing too. Like we'll film something and we'll be like, that was funny, right? And then like when you actually watch the clip while you're editing it, and it just doesn't work a certain way, or like it has to be timed very specifically, otherwise we don't laugh. Like that always kind of that's interesting to me that it makes that big of a difference.
Well, there's the difference between like comedy and horror is essentially where you put the camera, right? But it's also timing and atmosphere. The same scene shot different ways or with different timing. Like if you prime example is the Evil Dead, right? Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2. One of them's comical as all hell because it's edited just different than the other one. It's just it's a pure comedy, and the other one like tries to be scary and once you get past the silliness of some of the stuff where it's just it goes too far in the hyperbole, but the scenes are scary, right? And the other one just like it's just the timing and the editing just makes it hilarious. I got a couple donations here real quick. $10 from Anon. Sure. This Anon person just keeps showing up. BLM, absolutely. Embervolt is lit. $5 from Rocco, your boy. Coming at you live from Twitch. $5 from Bill B. Keep up the great work. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Who's the director of that? Was Sam Raimi, right?
Raimi.
So, I feel like there are people who contribute to a genre and people who like just participate in the genre, right? So a good example of genre participation is like Space Marines wearing power armor, right? So Heinlein came up with power armor in his fiction. He contributed, and then Games Workshop took that ball and did incredible things with it. So Games Workshop is participating in that specific space. They also contribute, but they're participating. And the contributor was the power armor. To me, Sam Raimi contributed taking the horror edit and turning it into the comedy edit. And I know it's easy. If you're trying to do improv drama, anybody who's done improv theater knows that improv comedy is like where it starts because it's hilarious when somebody's trying to be serious. Because it's just not in that context. But if you actually see somebody pull off improv drama and sell it, it is like that is the next level thing. And I think Sam Raimi actually took it the other way, taking it from horror to comedy. He's like, actually, this is pretty funny if we just, you know what I mean? Like, he must have been sitting in the edit room and like, do we have a comedy here? You know what I mean? And it's like that stroke of genius is like, yeah, we do. You know what? I'm just going to throw a chainsaw on this guy's arm.
I'm just waiting for us to, like, if I ever get my life together, one day we do an Ossiarch Bone Reapers battle report and somebody needs to drop the one-liner as they kill the Liege Cavalos or something. Buckle up, bonehead. Throw him off.
Play against KO. This is my boomstick. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. If you need a guest to pilot the OBR someday, like I'll make my way out to the West Coast, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dreams. I can dream. Yes.
Like, one day America will get, to move around again.
Yeah. One day we'll get to be mobile and so on and so forth. Framing 2, Hitchcock outlined that with him smiling before and after the audience sees a woman and child. Yeah, framing like what you put on either side of the clip, because the power of implications is really strong in film. Your joke is bad and you should feel bad. What did I miss?
Oh, I think they're just talking about they were
That's our
spinning off
creative
us.
process.
Yeah, the creative process when somebody goes, I don't really like that joke.
Yeah. Come for the skit. Stay once shoe rolls boxcars. What? Come for the skit.
I rolled on the last battle report. I rolled like garbage, and then at the last second, I got a couple of boxcars out that just were super critical.
Right on. Right.
We comment about like, does he know that you did?
Yeah, so Hoagie comes back on Twitter at my goth post about me. He wants me to run LARPs for him. And these photos, I am literally LARPing. Like,
Of
the
course.
picture on the left is me at a convention in a hotel room, and on the right is me just after in front of a Denny's.
What was your vampire?
Oh, which character?
Were you Melcavian? Clan Melcavian or what?
So my first character was a Tremere. And his name is Ocean. And
we must
there was
be
a Toreador
we must be enemies now.
named Ramiel. Yeah.
I want you guys to know, first of all, I know that I love pumpkin pie, and that has aged me considerably, but unknown fact, I am a bit younger than Shu. So there's lots of things that gaming experiences he's had that I haven't. And I think early in our friendship, I was just looking through his closet because he had a lot of like gaming books and stuff. And that vampire book was one of the things where I was like, what is this? And yeah, and to hear that explanation of like, well, let me tell you about people taking vampire role playing
into LARP world,
right? Like very seriously over, sort of by like like Washington State, like we're over by Seattle, but then there's sort of like a peninsula where you're starting to get out into like an actual rainforest.
So Twilight.
Twilight, which is where. So before Twilight was ever written, Shu was vampire LARPing
in the peninsula.
But were you sparkling?
Would you guys like drink blood or just an excuse to like blow?
So it was a sex cult for dorks, without a doubt. We would use rock paper scissors. There's the one rule with no touching. So like we would do rock
yeah,
paper,
but the
scissors.
one pickup line was, "Hey baby, you wanna violate the no touching rule?" Or you wanna?
I know. Isn't Gangrel is like a vampire thing, right?
Gangrel is one of the clans. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you in the old like SmackDown games where Gangrel was in it, and what was it, WWE Raw? What was the N64 one? No Mercy. Gangrel was in it. There was actually a credit to White Wolf RPGs, and I used to nerd out over that because they had the White Wolf. They actually had to license Gangrel from White Wolf.
Yeah,
and I was always like
British slang for a loose or disjointed person.
Right, but it's like a common parlance word. But VTM had the trademark on Gangrel, and so I always thought that was really funny that Vince McMahon had to pay for that character essentially, because
he was middle of the card, lower the card. He wasn't like a champion.
No. So Vince is paying for because he was Edge's, but the Ministry and all of them have deep connections to the McMahons. So like Edge is like a, he's in with that McMahon family. See, this is the podcast we never recorded, Jack.
Wait, hold on. Are you just getting into like conspiracy theory territory there?
No.
The Rothschilds, the McMahons.
No. Wrestling talk, yo. I just remember that like visceral reaction when I saw White Wolf show up in the credits at the beginning of the game, and I was still like sort of like hiding my nerd, or we call it masking our power level when people don't know you're a nerd. So I was still masking my power level at that point, because I was just like kind of like the like kind of cool outcast kid who was always new at school. So by the time people were about to figure out I was just a giant nerd in disguise, And looking back on it, I'm like, of course goths and punks are nerds. But at the time, it was like, oh, these are the kind of cool. And they're like, nope, they're nerds. They're just different types of nerds. And like wrestling was very in that time period, and so like I got invited to like the cool parties because I liked wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like so I was like the one weird guy who liked wrestling, and then I'd make my like, goth character with the Undertaker entrance music and No Mercy. And, but I remember like just like, dude, freaking White Wolf, and nobody knowing what that was. Like, you might be a nerd.
That reminds me so much. Ninth grade, because in the hood, I was just a big nerd. I couldn't hide it. But I moved with my cousins who white Christian family, and I went to it was like white neighborhood. And junior high was I was one of 3 black kids. But I was automatically put with the cool, which was cool. Like, hey, they don't know about history. But so I'm like getting invited to parties, and this is all crazy to me. I'm excited. But there was a game store, and I would go there and play Warhammer on Saturdays. We do tournaments and everything. And some of the kids walked into the game store because they were just walking around. And I saw them walking in. I'm like, oh no, they found out my I'm like, I was trying to run to the bathroom, like, hey, Jack, what's going on?
They found me out.
Like, Caesar here trying to bust Shoe's chops. Shoe in the woods with a cape running around in the moonlight. Have you ever worn a cape and run around in the moonlight at night, Caesar? Don't knock it till you tried it.
You saying like you're trying to hide, like I don't know the nerddom.
Yeah, masking your power level.
That was okay. It was cool.
I'll tell you this, like, I was dramatically nerdy and unpopular in school, and nothing like getting into LARPing and getting into RPGs like improved my social life
really?
1,000-fold.
Well,
yeah. Suddenly, like, half of my friends were girls. Like, suddenly, like, half of my friends were from out of state or from the city, right? Like, so, and we all had something we could connect on, even if we didn't have anything to talk about beforehand.
Well, Age of Sigmar does this too, right? It gives us a
it does. It does.
Yeah. No, go on.
Social network.
Yeah. I wish I could. I wish I could. Capes are expensive, yo. That's how you knew the dedicated LARPers is they either DIY'd their capes or they had a cape.
They would make their own. Yeah. Yeah.
I played theater, Mind's Eye Theater, which is the LARP.
That's what this is. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still around. Mind's Eye Theater is still the...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I played Mind's Eye Theater like a couple times, and the minute we got to like the rock, paper, scissors, I completely like cracked up. Like, I know...
It's so easy to break a character.
I know. The minute we're in the scene... this was in Green Bay. Rogue Traders was the store I went to back then. We did he closed up the shop, and we'd LARP in the shop, and then sometimes we'd go on site and stuff. And we'd LARP at night. I show up in my trench coat, and I'm playing my Malkavian, and I've got like a white frilly shirt I found like in a costume thing, and so completely taking it seriously, right? Talking about your like. It's easy to, like, being serious in improv starts to be funny. And the minute we're in this like super tense scene, and you usually have multiple storytellers or multiple STs around in LARP especially, and it was like, okay, so like we're trying to do this like super discreet thing. It's like, okay, rock, paper, scissors, and I'm like, just like I'm like, okay. I'm just like, okay, all right, you lost me. but I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
Were you wrestling at the time?
This is a precursor to wrestling.
This. Work punch or something,
See, I was in martial arts at the time. So I was always in like the weird sports like martial arts. 80s made karate look really cool. I mean, come on. It wasn't like it made karate look like the coolest thing ever. Heck, it goes all the way back to like even like as early as like Bruce Lee flicks, of course, Kung Fu, and just like fighting. It made fighting look so cool. Of course, I wanted to fight.
Yeah.
But at some point, you realize like practical combat versus an MMA wasn't around that time. Like,
yeah.
So I could have seen in an alternate reality, I might have went MMA, but at the time, it's like wrestling. Where it's like, and then you realize, like, I'm already playing tabletop RPGs. I'd LARPed a couple times. I'm in martial arts. I'm like, wrestling just makes sense, like it all, like, even now, like Mr. Mephisto is my persona. You know, if you talk to me, you're pretty much getting like the real like me right now. But like, you know, hey, what's up? Like that's not me. You know, I'm not that guy.
You mean us in battle report?
Yeah. Hey everybody! Hey, what's up, Jack? I'll tell you all about that role. I'm having a great time, celebrating successes. Do you have any pictures of you in your wrestling gear?
There's a couple of them floating around. I've got one. I have to talk to my grandma. My grandma just sent me a bunch of like my stuff. So I finally got the photo of my rat named Icket Claw, Sir Icket Claw. I knighted him. He was a good boy. Ratto. I've got one photo of me in ginger after I cut my hair all like super short, close cropped, and I was wearing a wig, and I lost the wig mid fight and just stayed in character. A gimmick I would not do again, just because, you know. But I was young. Cross-dressing gimmicks. We only had one woman in the company at the time, in the indie scene in that like sort of section. Indie gets divided up like territorially. It's kind of weird, and like certain promoters like each other, and it's really if you think there is drama in a scene, like pick whatever your scene is. It is nothing like the wrestling drama. We're talking, if you shake somebody's hand wrong, you have beef the rest of your career with that person. And if you shake their hand wrong, not only do you beef with that person, whatever promoter they're like the favorite of, hates you. You will job for them if you get booked at all. It's the indies are so. I did that for about. So I was green and coming up and training for several years, and I actively wrestled for about 2 of them. And my greatest claim to fame was winning the inaugural like women's champ, because it had to stay on a heel just for the promotion to work. And I was a guy in drag is cheap heat, like in a bar in the middle of nowhere, western Wisconsin. Cheap heat, you know. So I show up in the ginger persona. You guys are just jealous you're not as fabulous. Like the whole like Valley Girl.
Very early 2000s.
yeah, early on in the 2000s. Yeah, not cool, man. But yeah, I mean, your promoter says do the thing. Here's your $20 gas money. You do the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God. Brent and I were both in bands. There was a time where so my band was set up to play. We were going to open for Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and this is like the early 2000s. So we're like, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. That's a big name, but like, there's only one member of the original Frankie band, I guess. They're still there. Anyways, the moral story is we were given these tickets to go and sell. Like, we had to go and sell these tickets, like physical tickets. And then we returned the tickets to the place, and that's how they determined how many tickets we sold. Our drummer he lost his tickets. He sold a bunch, but then lost the rest. So he had cash, but then we were on the hook to pay for the tickets that he lost.
Oh.
And we ended up paying $150 to the house in order to play the set. We paid to play. Anyways, talk about drama when you're dealing in an indie scene. That's like indie bands, or whenever you're dealing with more than one other person. If there's 2 people, there's very little politicking going on. If there's a third person, like what we have here, suddenly it's like, wait, you guys got together and talked about a campaign? And the others are laughing really hard because like this is a real conversation. Like it's like, wait, what? When the hell were you going to tell me?
You just don't pay attention.
Huh? What?
Right.
No, see it, but it's like that in the. I guess
over tomorrow. We discussed it the night before.
Yeah. Mephisto, I used to do a bunch of backyard wrestling. See, I had to turn my. If this was back in the day, without the benefit of now being 15 years older or whatever, I'd have made fun of you so thoroughly for being a backyard wrestler, because I was old school trained, and backyard wrestlers are just like, they were just the butt of all jokes. This is before the Finn Balor's and stuff of the world, though, where like they came up as essentially backyard wrestlers. They had like the spots, the really awesome spots being like really good, a high spot being a really cool move. So they had all the like the cool moves that backyard wrestlers want, but then gained the cred that appeased the indie wrestlers and the old schools with really good technique. You know, this is before the Finn Balor's of the world. Plus, his character work is fantastic. Yes, I'm a giant mark for Finn Balor. But that's because we were very similar body size, shape, stuff like that. So it's like if I were younger and didn't completely go full dad bod mode, and like if I were still wrestling but Finn Balor was in the scene, like I might still be in the scene because the reality for my future as a wrestler was always going to be if I made it, some guy who basically becomes a jobber because yeah, 6 even, but I can't build tons of muscle and Vince sold this image of Goliaths fighting, and you even in the industry you lie about your height and weight. You're supposed to. You up 20 pounds. Like every card I'm on, I was listed as 20 pounds heavier than I was. It was just a reality. But the backyards are where the passion grows, and I know that now. I didn't know that before.
Have you ever played Backyard Warhammer?
Backyard roll? Yeah, see, I look down on Backyard Warhammer players the same way I look down on backyard wrestlers.
You don't play in a gaming den? Get out.
It's just, I mean, Warhammer players are just as judgy, looking like all these Facebook people and their stupid questions. And I'm like, we're all playing the same thing.
It is. No, I think the Backyard Warhammer, the Garden Warhammer, I'm super envious of it. I think that's, if there is any real malice, and we're not just joking right now, it probably comes from a place of insecurity. Because they're playing Warhammer right now, and you're not.
I have played outdoor Warhammer before too, and what was formerly the Citadel Wildwood, so like the base with the trees that you put on it. We had that out. We had that outside, and I guess like the sun got on it, and that part of the plastic just like curled up. That was the last time we ever played Warhammer outside, but that was pretty fascinating to just see like this is a Games Workshop product that the sun has now like morphed, terraformed.
We're all good to go. Like we can easily set the table up on the deck.
It's true, and if you want to destroy your Citadel Wildwoods because you hate those,
Perfect.
yeah, it's a nice day out.
Oh, that would be nice.
Well, seeing like seeing some of the like UK boys, like they've got the full tarps out and stuff like that, and then like you have these gorgeous like I'm like they don't have that much space in England. Where are they finding these like shots? Clearly they're sets.
It's less about space. They just don't have the sun to cook their wildwoods.
Alabaster skin.
Yeah. It's like
That was a joke grenade.
yeah.
Jack told it.
Yeah.
Went off a couple seconds later.
That was good. I like that. That was a joke grenade. Benji, thank you for the $10 donation. Anonymous again, showing back up here. I keep donating because I love hear you say my name. Meth, winky face. Drew Peterson with $5. Thank you so much. How to War Games, $25. Thank you so much for that donation there. And Gabe Huddlestone, thank you so much for the $10. Rerolling Ones never answered my Patreon question. When are they going to set one up?
Oh.
We're honored that people want to give us money. We're trying to make sure that we're providing value for that. So there's a bunch of debate about what we're going to do for tiers and that kind of thing. And then, of course, there's the consistency of filming, which we're not quite at a good cadence yet, where we were at the same rhythm we were before. We do have a plan to set one in motion, and we're also going to do merch. We know people have been asking about shirts and that kind of thing. We're still trying to find the right vendor for that. So it's in the pipe, but it's just not something. This will never be our job. Let's just like get that out of the way. We're not trying to turn our hobby into a hustle, so that's not like never been a huge priority for us. And we're never going to be able to compete with like the people who this is their job.
Did they have like a literal sponsorship and like they have on company backing? Yeah.
So like the other question is like, what do we want to do with money? Like we have money sitting around from ad revenue. We're spending it slowly on camera equipment and that kind of thing. It's like we have to decide how to handle that and what we're gonna like who walks away with it at the end of this thing, whenever that is. So yeah. So like, there's just so many unanswered questions that we haven't really. We're so busy in our lives, and then trying to do this channel at all has never really. It's never really come up as like a huge priority for us. So we're honored that people want to get involved and get invested, and we want to make sure that when we do turn that on, that it's going to be a huge value for the people who do it. So
Yeah.
that's a priority for us.
See, I've sold out immediately. The first thing I did was I had a Patreon before Rantcast, actually, and you get nothing. There are different tiers. It says it. These are the you get nothing tiers. The bigger tiers just give you extra bragging rights. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Fuck paywalls. Like you get the same.
Yeah.
You all get the
same. We don't want
same.
paywall stuff, right?
Yeah. You all get the
People ask
very.
me about,
You get the.
people ask me about my hats. Like, I just go to Lids. You're made, man. I want a hat. I'm like, go to Lids. That's what.
Yeah. No,
Maybe that's what we'll do. Well, for people who are on the top tier Patreon support, we'll give them the PDF file so they can go get their list.
There you go. There you go. We have space. Hawkeye coming in. We have space. Some people have been playing at cricket fields, and those places where you do the hound hunts. That's where
hunt foxes?
yeah, that's where it's. See, you have to keep in mind, I've never been to England, so it exists purely as a fantasy setting in my mind, and the fantasy setting I've taken
playing
from
Warhammer, like on the lawn of Downton Abbey.
yeah, but the fiction I've taken like England from is actually Nightmare Creatures and Bloodborne, like Yarnum. So it's just like it's all built like really scrunched together and really tall.
Just like gaslights and Eldritch horror.
Yeah, there's still gaslights everywhere. Eldritch horror, yeah, exactly. That's my vision. You ever have something that like, maybe I'll let you each share, perhaps you have something that fits this category. You have something where you simply never want to know the reality of it because you know the fiction is way cooler.
Good. I have to think about that.
Yeah. When are Rerolling one starting up their OnlyFans account, and when is the bathwater coming
I have
out?
thought about that.
I don't know how computers work. Like, I don't know why.
PC load letter.
Yeah, I have no idea what makes computers go. Like, how I just know it's a magic box I turn on and I know how to install a game, but I don't know how that happens. And I don't want to. That seems like a lot of work to try to.
I'll show you OnlyFans later. The internet doesn't need to know why I know what that is.
Oh no. Who's the girl who did the bathwater? The super famous one that she stepped away
Sold her bathwater?
Yeah, she sold her bathwater. And she stepped away from
Nobody wants to say it.
Nobody wants to say it. I genuinely don't know because I'm
chat got us.
There it is. So Belle Delphine. People like made fun of her on the internet. I'm like, she is a fucking pioneer. You take that back. I'm like, I don't even know.
What Warhammer gem can we sell for a donation right now? What do we got?
Somebody was that?
Yeah.
Some dice that Shu rolled ones on.
You have to have a big head. My head is a very large head. Also use that.
People want somebody's bathwater before they want Shu's cursed dice.
I really don't understand. That's so much work to send this out.
Oh, you see, and Rocco, they should never ruin it.
I still have models I was supposed to send out.
And we're playing with models you're supposed to send out.
Oh my gosh. I've already said it. I'm not going to tell people about to donate.
You know what I think I do still have is, Shu, I want you to tell everybody the story of Muppets Evolved.
Oh my gosh.
I changed my mind. I'm keeping my hat.
Muppets Evolved.
Because I have them right here. I actually want to tell the story because I was so confused that this happened. So, like, early Age of Sigmar, there's, like, no tokens for anything, and Shu ordered some, like, acrylic tokens from some independent seller, and they sent him, like, the box of, like, his objective tokens. Here's Mystic Shield, whatever. And there was some stuff in there that you didn't order.
So yeah, this person was such a flake, massively disorganized. For whatever reason, they had a laser cutter. So I ordered tokens, and I ordered 2 sets of Age of Sigmar tokens from this person off their website, and what they sent me was someone else's 300 token custom order.
Let's get this on the camera if we can read this. Well, it's gonna be backwards. Whatever. This says Muppets Evolve.
Muppets Evolved with a picture of a rubber chicken laying on its side.
What does that mean?
I don't know. So
we used them.
she was like, "Oh, my mistake. You just keep those tokens, and I'll print up both orders again." And I'm like, "Okay, well."
Oh no, it happened again. Oh no, Muppets Evolve broke the internet. Nope, nope. Ah, god damn it. Okay. Well, we've been through this once before. Just to hop back into Arcane Sanctuary when it comes back. Did you guys get a hiccup on your end? Discord just locked up on us. Yikes. Yeah, the Muppets Evolved. Russia doesn't want us knowing about this. Pro-painted tokens are awesome. I actually own some for my Bone Daddy's army. It's got, like, what was cool is I ordered it for the Christmas bundle, so I've got my, like, measuring sticks that say Mr. Mephisto on them, which, honestly, my whole drive in life is to just have my name on stuff. That's why I'm a writer, because writers were, like, the first thing I saw that got their names on stuff. I started a podcast to put my name on stuff. I'm consistent. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Back?
Welcome back.
We back?
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah.
No.
We did our exciting tale of Muppets Evolve, and
Someone is so super into the story, they said.
the story. I mean, yeah, that's. I don't know where we got cut off, but the
You
story
got
just
cut off on the descriptor of it, Muppets Evolved, and then, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a picture. It says Muppets Evolved, a picture of a rubber chicken on its side.
Right, but just that we got to keep those tokens, so we started using Muppets Evolve tokens. So like early AOS, the Doom Boy uses Slaughterer's Call. Like, you need a token for it? Great, you get Muppets Evolve. Like these Bulgor have Muppets Evolve, which in this case is now +1 to wound from Slaughterer's Call. Or like, I don't know, maybe we only had one Mystic Shield. Maybe we didn't have any Mystic Shield token. I don't know. You get Muppets Evolve.
Our first battle
You
report.
get a Muppets Evolve.
Yeah.
You get a Muppets Evolve.
First battle report is like We're Herd versus Maggotkin, and I think there's a Muppet Evolve token in that one.
Oh, undoubtedly there is.
That's fantastic. I love that. Is there some secret? And this is pre-fame, so it wasn't like this was planned or targeted. Like, it just happened.
This is a pre-recording too. We're just playing. Like, so if somebody walked up to like that game of Age of Sigmar, like we're playing in a local shop, and they're just like, "What the hell is this?
What does it mean for a Muppet to evolve?
And what does that have to do?
I'm tempted to Google, but I know Google will never forget my question.
Oh, you like Muppets Evolve? Here's a bunch of Muppets Evolve.
Yeah. I think Animal is OP. Please nerf. I agree. Is there some secret Muppet war game? I don't know. Gonza needs to be nerfed. Yeah, 100%.
Muppet Hammer.
You Muppet!
Yo, the Seahawks just traded for Jamal Adams if you want to just paint that model now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said the Seahawks just traded for Jamal Adams from the Jets. If you just want to paint that model now, you can get over with it.
Yeah,
Jackson,
not gonna happen, brother.
game.
Not gonna happen, brother. Russell Wilson's overrated, most overrated QB since Tom Brady.
Guys, for me.
Yeah, he's out at practice right now, walking across a lake, dude. You can't say that kind of stuff.
Drew Peterson just donated again to select the reward. Matthew, you're the man. Thank you so much. PJ Shard, Tiltify donation. Thank you so much, Paul. He's actually coming up next. That's we go into the Wisco block, kicking off with the Mortal Realms. So you get your bat rep fix here and antics, and the antics keep going because Paul's one of the perhaps most irreverent humans in our community. And the Mortal Realms, of course, does a lot of lore videos. So that'll be pretty cool. About 10 minutes left on your guys' block. ODT, thank you so much for the follow there. I believe that's Chuck, the other Chuck, or Chuck Prime, depending on which one you met first.
I like this emerging meta of Muppets in the chat. Fozzie needs points to drop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nerf Gonzo. Gonzo's basically unkillable. I agree.
Waka Waka costs 2 CP. See, there's a donation goal if we get anywhere in the stratosphere of the 5K. Vince said he would paint a model for somebody. He did not say which model, but there's got to be a Gonzo skull. We will find a Muppet Mini, a Muppets Evolved Mini.
To have Vince Ventrella paint a Muppet miniature. I mean, we could probably also just ask him to design, this Muppet game too. I'm going to eBay right now. I just want to see.
See if Muppet Evolved is.
Are we gonna switch? Are we switching from Age of Sigmar?
Age of Sigmar is done.
We're going to Muppet.
No, we are. Yeah, sorry, everyone. You had to find out during the mental health charity marathon, but a bunch of your favorite content creators are quitting Age of Sigmar. We're gonna go play Muppets Evolved, and if it doesn't exist, we're gonna make that and play that.
All right, so here's my pitch for the game, because a lot of the stuff that's showing up on eBay is Muppet babies. So the game is called Muppets Evolved. You start with a Muppet baby, and then as the game progresses, your Muppet baby evolves into its most powerful form, which is a full-grown Muppet.
I like that.
It's kind of like a MOBA, but also a tabletop.
You're combining Pokemon, which the kids love, with OG, we have this 80s nostalgia cred. So you got some nostalgia cred in there. You get the wargaming crowd. This idea cannot fail.
I'm gonna one up it for you here. We're gonna use the rules underscoring the whole thing will be from Palladium Games After the Bomb.
Oh, dude! So After the Bomb is, of course, what TMNT became, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles RPG became after they Palladium didn't re-up on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license, because when they bought it, it was dirt cheap, because Laird and Eastman were selling it to everybody because of their brand manager essentially, and just small RPG company from Detroit's yeah, we'll make a TMNT RPG on the early sort of. There was an RPG surge in the 80s and 90s, so they just did that, and then the movies and the cartoon exploded, and you're sitting there with $1 billion, well, it would eventually become $1 billion franchise as Palladium books with this TMNT RPG. That is, it's contraband. If you still have your TMNT stuff, it's got the original artwork in it. It's amazing. He does. Oh, mine fell apart. It's gone.
I mean, this book is basically. So remember I talked about earlier popping into his closet and being what are all your weird old books from?
Hold it up a little higher, please. Hello? Oh, turtles.
There's no cover on this one.
So
but the turtles in there.
Yeah, it became Mutants in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question about Muppets Evolved. Stop thinking about it.
Yeah, no, we don't want to we don't want to bury the lead. We want to take the good stuff from the TMNT RPG, put it in here. Yeah, Jack, what's up?
Yeah. Is this any Jim Henson, anything under the umbrella, Dark Crystal?
Are you asking? Well, in that case, you're questioning the definition of a Muppet.
Sesame Street?
Dark Crystal is full on going to be the grimdark. There's no rules for it. It's only going to be on Instagram. It's going to be Turnip Hammer with grimdark.
Is Sesame Street an expansion to Muppets Evolved?
Sesame Street are Muppets, I believe, by definition. I, though, am agreeing that Dark Crystal are grimdark Muppets.
So what about? So does David Bowie's not technically a Muppet, but do we feature characters that were Muppet adjacent in Muppet movies?
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah,
Siegel,
Jason Segel. Could be a character. He'd be some sort of giant, perhaps a son of Behemoth sort. Because he's apparently huge in reality. David Bowie, right, the Goblin King.
Oh.
Yeah. So somebody mentions here Labyrinth, and I think that this is a genre bender because they're you have grimdark on Dark Crystal, you have full on Clown Rodeo with Sesame Street, and in the middle there you have Ludo the Rock Chaser. And what else is there? There's Sir Didymus, right?
Who rides the
dog?
sheepdog? It's a dog riding a dog.
Yeah.
The original inspiration
it's-
for Seraphon, I imagine. They just like had to change the homework so
Right.
people didn't notice.
Dog riding.
Right. Dog riding another dog. I mean, it has to be like that's not quite grimdark, but it is edgier than Muppets for sure. So
Yeah.
So with, like,
Well, the plot
Black
is a
Cow,
baby
like,
is
the Wormhorde,
Yes. You're punching down, Jack. Yes, the hand puppet, Syphil and Ollie. That's all gonna be. It's all gonna be the Wormhorde.
and the Fraggle Rock will be in there because Fraggle Rock fucks. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like you walk and you see all the Muppets and you point to Fraggle Rock like, these guys fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, can you imagine the pitch meeting for Fraggle Rock? Just like if you were to find out the
nobody
drugs in the blood veins of the people in that meeting, right? Like,
nobody was sober.
okay,
Nobody
like,
was sober.
Okay, it starts with there's a bunch of dudes who live on the ground, and they build stuff out of candy, and then other dudes come and eat it.
Yeah.
But then, like then they have like bad guys above the ground. You know, like picture the dude who taught you how to count in Sesame Street. Only he's a giant, and he wants to eat the candy from the candy slaves. That
I know exactly how that pinch meeting went. Jim Henson, hi. Jerry Nelson, hi. Fraggle Rock,
done deal. It's just gonna print money.
That's
Well,
when the dudes
I-
eat the Doozer sticks. And,
I think they put the clue to which drugs they were on in the title. Rock. Like smoking rocks.
I'm on that Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
I need 2 pipes.
Yeah.
What you don't know is Fraggle was the street name for a particular like. We need a
I was
name,
trying
and they're
to
just
think
like
about-
itching their heads. They flip over the baggie with like the hand drawn logo, like Fraggle. Fraggle Rock.
That,
Joe Rogan.
that's how you know they're going to be great with wargaming because you get to handle the miniatures really gently because you're used to not breaking crack pipes.
Oh my gosh. I free brace my friend.
if anyone does really remember that show, though, too, like the old guy in between sort of scenes where like the Fraggles are in the wall in the garden, but then it cuts back to the old guy with his like dog that's a puppet. The old guy is always complaining about his neighbor Ned Schimmelfinney, which is the best name ever. And like I think about if there was a reboot where he's like instead of just complaining to his dog, that he would just go online and talk shit to Ned Schimmelfinney all the time.
Whoever has the Twitter name Ned Schimmelfinney is like seriously
Ned Schimmelfinney.
You know what I always thought was a great name? Chester Copperpot from the Goonies.
Chester Copperpot.
That's such a cool name, Chester Copperpot.
Yeah.
It's true.
How come none of our characters in our campaign have names this good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'm trying to come up with the Chaos Lord on Carpet Track. name.
Yeah, Chapo. Engine, the chomping engine.
We got 2 minutes. What can we do here?
1 minute
I'll
now.
be
1 minute
there.
now. All right.
What do we got?
They're drawing a blank. Well, I think we've already you've already given everyone the gift that will keep giving, which
That's
is
true. We did talk about Muppets.
Muppets evolved, and then just this Fraggle Rock tangent has been one of my favorite things in the world.
Great.
Quick, let's go file the trademark. Let's go. All right. So Paul's gonna show up next. Last minute of donations. We're coming in at, where are we at? Oh, $2,770.92. So more than double my record. Records shattered. So much. Yeah. I am definitely
Thank you very
aware
much
of
for
mental.
putting this together and having us on here. This is really awesome that you're raising money for a good cause, and it sounds like people are having fun. This is an Age of Sigmar filled weekend, even if it's people just by themselves.
Yeah.
We appreciate being.
Anytime you need us, this is just thank you again for letting us be
you.
part of this.
Y'all shouldn't be thanking me. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for bringing the hilarity, the content, even like some professionalism in there with like the way you handled questions. That was weird.
Oh my gosh.
We tried.
Settle
Then
down.
we descended into like,
Muppets.
do you remember that Shu was a goth?
That was.
Can I
was
show you my Ninja Turtles book?
if we look back on the timeline, I think that's when it derailed. Right, Shu was a goth, and then just like.
Talking about personal experiences and
Where's Paul?
Not a lot about Warhammer.
we got the
Fraggle Rock would make actually pretty good
city.
role-playing game because you get to like pick, like are you a Fraggle, are you a Gorg, are you a Doozer, what type of class bonuses do you get based on what
Can you
choose.
name all the main characters?
In Fraggle Rock?
Yeah.
Red Fraggle. So I actually know somebody whose aunt played Red Fraggle. Kind of interesting.
Paul, you should be able to click the link I sent you in Twitter. It'll drop you into Arcane Sanctuary, and then I can pull you into the disused Fane. Yes.
That's
Yes.
Wembley.
This is all.
Wembley?
Huh? If you need to leave, y'all can leave now. Your
I
blog
don't
is
remember the name Fraggle.
It's Gobo.
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 we're
Now
doing
we gotta go.
I remember his uncle traveling Matt.
Yes.
Midwest Averta meltdown.
Wait till Paul's in here. We'll turn on the light. Hopefully this isn't blind everybody.
Whoa!
Look at this. Look at our lovely game.
Who's going first? Oh, it's my choice.
What did we last film?
We need to...
Oh crap! I messed that up. I was just trying to get the link.
Buddy.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry. I was trying to grab the link for
No, you're
Paul
good.
here.
You're good, guys. See you later.
Yeah, later, dudes. Thanks again.